We recall what happened during Beatrice's trial. Our mother gave us the knowledge we needed to win. Yes, the ass pull. Where's the ass pull this time? She did it before. Can she save us again? Mom, please. I need your help. Please. Just give me the ass pull. What's in my ass? We hear nothing back. No. It appears we're truly alone now. We know this is a long shot, but we still held out hope. We just wanted to protect Celeste. And we really thought we could do this. But Eris is a being who wraps herself in layers upon layers of lies. No, I feel like we've got this. Why are we acting all despairy? I feel like we can call her out on this. What was that statement she made, though? Can I go back that far? I think I can. No! It's right at the edge. So said the thing that Psy'Min can't read, that he wants to read. Eris said it. So says the word of Asmodeus. Damn it. I went one too far. But Eris is a being who wraps herself in layers upon layers of lies. She has the power to make us doubt everything. The witnesses' testimony, even our hard evidence can be a fabrication. How could we possibly argue against someone like that? It's not fair. It's not fair, Miss Tamora. They're not even bothering to investigate the crime properly. Yeah, it's possible I have a blood contract with every person who attended. No, it's the statement before that where she said that there was no force cage created at or after 150. Because Oster testified otherwise, and Oster's memories can't be tampered with because he doesn't have a blood contract. They're not even bothering to investigate the crime properly. Well, of course they're not. If they did, they'd be forced to admit that my client is innocent. How are you so calm right now? Is this what it's always like? How are you supposed to win like this? They can just keep changing the narrative however they want. They can, and that's exactly how I'll beat them. What? Look, Cuthbert, almost every part of the system is against us. But there's one advantage we have over the prosecution, and that's pure and objective logic. Logic? Tyrion, the prosecutor does all sorts of things to validate their case. They present evidence, they call witnesses, and they use those things to create conclusions. They create a box and throw a bunch of facts into it. They tell the court that everything within that box is the truth. And conversely, that makes everything outside of it a lie. But how does that help us? You point out contradictions in their case. That makes them throw more and more facts into that box to keep their case consistent. But if even one fact in the box is false, the entire thing falls apart. But surely they'll realize what you're doing. What if they play dumb and refuse to add anything to this box? Well, you can force them to. What? You can present your own truths. And you force the prosecution to either accept or deny them. By doing that, you can control what goes into the box. This all sounds so complicated. I don't know if I'll ever get the hang of it. Don't worry, you've always been a sharp kid. I know you'll do great things. So don't give up. It's time to turn the case around. I can present my own truths. Eris's case hinges on when Beatrice disappeared. And she changed Celeste's memories to make her think everything happened earlier. Which can only mean Beatrice Frege did not go missing before 2 p.m. What was that? I said... Yeah,
this
she's doing her...
is far from over.
Oh! I got wings now! I'm Angel Jin! So says the word of Horus. You wanna say so says Asmodeus? I'm gonna Horus you. What the hell? Why did this turn into the climax of Tekken 8 all of a sudden? You feel ourselves filled with the radiant power of the Eye of Horus. Motherfucker got wings, shit! With its power fully unleashed, we feel the divine energy of the upper planes coursing through us. Tyrion, you have wings! What the hell? You know that saying where someone looks at you as if you just sprouted wings? You did that! And I'm looking at you! Wait, really? I frantically turn around, only catching glimpses of the spectral wings on my back. We spin around for a while until we realize that our feet aren't even touching the ground anymore. Dude, what did you just do? I became a celestial. Which means, no! I also can't tell lies. In any other situation, that would be a handicap. But here, that finally puts me on equal footing with you. Why won't you just die already? You tried everything you could to break me. You drove a wedge between me and Ruby. You even manipulated Celeste into betraying me. But I'm still standing, Eris. I think you might be a little out of your depth right now. I have lived 1,000,000 of your pathetic lifetimes. And you think I'm out of my depth? I am the Empress of Discord, ruler of the 6th Circle of Hell. I am a god. She doesn't know, Tyrion. What doesn't she know? What the hell are you laughing about? Whoever you are, man, king, or god. Oh. Bitch don't know about my mantra. I won't let anyone stop me from reaching the truth. Repeat, eyeball. Ha 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 ha. Looks like someone has the biggest ego here. Well, that's a demon for you. Or maybe it's just Chuny Tyrion. Since you've so graciously bared your soul to me, I guess I should do the same. Oh god, she is going to be a Devil Kazuya or whatever the hell. I wanted to break your spirit in this form, all so I could keep things fair and interesting. But you know what? Right now, well, she's going full screen fuck up. I just want to see you die. What? What happened? You messed with my monitor. Celeste? I'm here. I can't wait to tear you both apart. Oh, music. It's the final boss of Earthbound. Well then. Guys, we're playing Persona 3 early. What? What is that thing? I am thou, thou aren't I. Did you two honestly think that my true form was that of a teenage girl? No, I am an ancient one. I am older than time itself. It feels liberating to break free from that weak mortal shell. I don't know why Psy'Min is still giving me the teenage girl voice, but whatever. So this is what you really look like. Well, it doesn't matter. Whatever you are, I'm taking Celeste's soul back. Kick her ass, Tyrion! Quick, use a rage art. Ha ha! I'm gonna carve out your souls and mount them in the fields of Malbolg. Okay. Fate challenged. Hey, how come your health refilled? We need to be careful. We're bound by the same rules as her now. We can't tell lies in this form, even accidentally. Why don't we pick up where we left off? I've established that Beatrice didn't go missing until 2 p.m. I wonder, why would you go to so much trouble to make me doubt that? When she gave her testimony, Celeste said that Eris and Beatrice entered the prayer room at 1:40. True, we gotta be very nitpicky about our wording here. But from the axiom we declared, we know Beatrice didn't disappear until 2 p.m. So, Eris didn't disappear until 2 p.m. because literally we say so? That's interesting. Why did Eris change Celeste's memories? Occurred earlier. Yeah, occurred earlier. The events? Eris wanted... Do I lose health when I... Oh! So I lose health when I make mistakes now here. If I say something that isn't true, fate kicks me in the nuts. Eris. Why did Eris change Celeste? Memories. Eris needed Celeste to believe the events occurred earlier. It wouldn't be Tyrion to realize. I feel like this is right. Yes. I believe you needed Celeste to think that the events happened much earlier. Staying quiet? That won't work this time. So when I say things that are true, if I don't get kicked in the nuts by fate, then I'm actually right. I don't need Eris to confirm anything anymore. I just need to follow my nuts. Celeste McCoy remembered the attack occurring much earlier than it actually did. So says the word of Horus. See? My nuts are fine. Yeah. Oh, she lost much less health that time. Nothing to say? You can't stay quiet forever. Huh. I didn't need her to think that specifically. This is an interesting mechanic. I don't need to prove things are right. I just need to not take damage when I say shit. That's an interesting way of confirming the truth, actually. I didn't need her to think that specifically. I simply wanted to confound your ability to deduce what actually happened. And is that not what happened? That may be, but I think you had a specific reason to move her timeline back. An event occurred that required Eris to change Celeste's memories. So says the word of Horus. An event occurred that required Eris to change Celeste's memories. I mean, it wouldn't have been this, because that creates a contradiction. Something happened randomly. Heard a suspicious sound. That could be it. Because she hasn't denied that she heard a sound and ran out and said, yeah, I lied about what the sound was, but she didn't lie about the sound. Frozen Blade. It's not the order of events. We know when the murders happened because of divination magic, so that can't be contested. Inquisition discovered something wrong with Alarak. When the Inquisition arrived at the scene, they spotted the unconscious guards. I don't think this is it. This happened later. A night was assigned. Was the event that I saw Beatrice? It could have been that I saw Beatrice when I wasn't supposed to. Because then the excuse has to come up as to why she was there? It's not something in the compendiums. It's not that. I don't think it's that. It's nothing to do with this. I mean, this could be a lot of different things. Hang on a second. An event occurred that required Eris to change Celeste's memories. That is incredibly vague. No. I mean, this would not force the change of memories. That would, in fact, force the change in the opposite direction. It's not this, because we can... You talked about change those, blah, blah, blah. It's not that. It could be... but this is still eyewitness testimony stuff. I hope I don't get one shot by presenting the wrong information. I lie and I just die instantly. This would certainly matter, though, because if Beatrice didn't leave until 2 p.m., then, I mean, that pushes the entire timeline of when Arya was controlled back. But this only happened because they took control of her. They would have known about that. This guy died at 2:05 p.m. We keep saying something happened, but most of the things I can think of that would have caused the time to be pushed back are things that Eris was in control of. So those aren't just things that happened. What happened? It kind of reminds me of the second case in Spirit of Justice where they, like, I don't want to spoil the big twist ending, but the murderer ultimately got caught because something unexpected happened, because someone messed something up. And so someone had to improvise and do things a little bit differently, and because they did things differently, they left evidence that showed what had happened, because the murderer had to account for that and try to fix it, and they did a bad job. These sorts of things that I'm looking at don't really fall in that category. Something happened to push the time up. What about this? Because it says, well, it doesn't have to say 2. Well, your head hurts. These games have a habit of doing that. It could technically be this, because the time says 2 p.m. and that forces things to get moved up, but at the same time, this 2 p.m. was known ever since this letter was sent. Also, how does this letter work? Because we were under the impression this letter was sent to the patron and then sent to us. But the patron is us, specifically Celeste. So, I hope we revisit that. Also, it specifically says McCoy's true parentage. Garrick wouldn't have written about McCoy in the third person if he was sending it to McCoy. An event occurred that required Eris to change Celeste's memories. La 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 la. I guess he could be taken by surprise by the time that Oster went. I guess this, maybe, possibly? Because nobody would be able to control the time that the Glyph of Contingency gets set off. It's dependent on when Oster goes there. So that could be it. That's the only event that I feel was out of control of everyone else. Oster just going to pay respects. When he chose to do that was just kind of his call. I don't know. Hopefully I don't take too much damage from this, but I'm going to try this. Nope. No, Eris wanted us to believe that Celeste signed the contract with her at 1:40 p.m. She needed us to believe that to keep the narrative logically consistent. That doesn't really help me. Event occurred. Run that log by me again. Eris wanted us to believe that Celeste signed the contract at 1:40. Eris needed us to believe that Celeste signed the contract at 1:40. Is it just when Arya wandered away then? I feel like Steelwind would have abruptly left the meeting because of the control over her mind. So I feel like this is something she would have been able... Alright, I'm going to try this. How much health did we lose? Not much. It's being fairly forgiving. We'll try this. Nope. Yes. There's only so many things here that matter. It's not a compendium. It's none of the contracts. No, no. With the apparent death of Tyrion Cuthbert. Actually, our memories weren't affected. So what happened? That she heard them outside? No! Okay, fuck me. You think there's the hardest prompt in the game? Well, fair enough. No. If it's the hardest prompt in the game, then I might as well get it over with. This is the final boss prompt. Because maybe it is this. I'm gonna try this. There's only so many things it can be, and we're almost dead anyway. No! Interesting. So it's not this, it's not that. It's not that. I don't even remember the other thing I presented. Is that it? No, I think I presented something else. I don't even remember what it was now. Not that testimony, not that testimony. I had a feeling I would go all the way back there. I'm prepared for that. We'll have to rush back here. It's just something that'll happen. Prepare to skip key. We still haven't dealt with the fact that Ulrich got turned into something. Strangely, no one saw him while he was in this state. I mean, we never really addressed that. I wonder if it's ever going to come up. Also reported that a fire had broken out. What about that? Maybe it was the fact that a fire broke out. Because maybe they didn't expect Celeste to create a huge stink. All right, well, here we go. We die. Nah. And so the story of Tyrion Cuthbert ends. I will enjoy bringing your flayed carcass back to Malbogue. No, I refuse. Fate challenged. Oh. Katana. That's not what happened. We're good. Why don't we pick up where we left off? Why did Eris change Celeste's memories? Oh yeah, this is what I did first. Alright, well that's much more forgiving. Eris needed Celeste to believe the events occurred earlier. You guess they changed it in the patch. I guess they must have, because I don't think this game had a difficulty setting. If it does, we're playing it on normal, but I don't think it does. How would it? How would it even? I believe we needed Celeste to think that the events happened much earlier. Maybe they did change it in a patch. I'll have to go and look at that. Staying quiet won't work this time. I get to just say things now. So says the word of Horus. Nothing to say. You can't stay quiet forever. An event okay, so we're right. This is it. An event occurred that required Eris to change Celeste's memories. Was it... I would say maybe it's Tracker running off, but we don't really have an evidence point for that. This Tracker is here, but we don't have things for him. This doesn't really matter. All right, we presented that. 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 We presented a fair bit. There's only so much left. I don't think it's a compendium. I don't see how it would be. Maybe this guy? But, like, can we not rely on testimony, though? Because almost all we have is testimony. Maybe the murderer's route to give them time because they went a really inefficient way? Well, we already know we're not getting penalized that much, so we can start being willy-nilly, but I am kind of throwing things at the wall here. Let's try this. Nope. Alright, let's try this. Nope. Objection! Nope! Objection! Nope! Objection! Nope! Rewind! Something happened. Is it how Celeste murdered Pierce? Because it doesn't specify the hows. Of her own volition and agency, shall bring about the demise of Garrick Pierce by her own hands. Because of how she murdered Garrick Pierce? Is that it? No. We presented that. I don't want to just toss things out, but we're definitely running out. It could have been this. Possibly. I don't think so, though. I don't think this is... This is one of the few things that specifies a time, but I don't think it matters here. This is just his alibi. Obviously, the information Marnoth wants to share is certainly very interesting. But the fact that he went to talk to him at 150 is just like, well, I mean, I feel like Marnoth wouldn't have called Remus out until a specific time. I mean, at this point, I've offered half the evidence, so I'll forgo the hint for now, considering the stakes are not that high. But I appreciate the offer. Something happened. I mean, I've presented pretty much everything that happened that Eris was not directly in control of. It's not this. This wouldn't prompt. I mean, I'm very curious what the actual timeline is, because Sanctus was killed at 2:05. So clearly all this couldn't have gone down much earlier. But why the hiding? Did I actually present this? I don't know if I did. I don't really see how it would work, but I'll try it. Nope. Autopsy. Traces of conjuration magic were found throughout the room. I guess that was just the sleep spell. Sleep is conjuration, right? Yes. Alright. I believe I presented this one already, didn't I? An event occurred that required Eris to change Celeste's memories. Did I actually present this? No, it doesn't matter. No. You claim, but no, says I. Eris needed Celeste to believe the events occurred earlier. Celeste McCoy remembered the attack occurring much earlier than it actually did. Why did the timeline have to move back? Yeah, I believe you when you say this is the hardest prompt in the game. I'm surprised I never got the chance to use my Attorney Runestone. And if that ends up being what I'm supposed to present here, I'm gonna laugh. Let's see. I believe I presented this. Is it just the fact that this all took so long because Von Sanctus and What's-Her-Face defended themselves hard, or what? Purple mark. I wonder how this came about, because if Arya signed that contract literally just before she started doing all this stuff, this mark must have just appeared. Or someone stuffed it in her pocket, or I wonder if Celeste has one on her. Transmutation. I offered that. I mean, I'm gonna have to start reaching here. We're gonna throw stuff on the wall. No. I don't think... No. I couldn't remember if I even presented that or not. I can't even remember if I presented this yet. Nope. Did I present this? No. Alright. I can't even remember what I present at this point. Has no idea, but you're doing streaks. You do those streaks. I'm failing my streaks hard. I wonder what it's gonna be. Eris. Needed Celeste to believe. The events occurred earlier. I say the proof is that I said it and I didn't take damage, so screw you. You're done now, sweet. Okay, let's take a look at the spells here. I'm surprised I didn't wake up from the sleep from some sort of pain, because I literally got killed. Mend wounds, invisibility. Not send message. I wonder if Feign Death is ever going to come into play. Boss music is cool, though. Yeah, I know. We're fighting Sephiroth right now. Oh, wait a minute. I mean, I don't know why they would bother casting this on me when they can just stab me and do it legitimately, but this is something that hasn't come into play yet. Maybe she can bring people back to life, but I was... Who knows Feign Death? You do. What's the duration? Indefinitely. Wow. This would not necessitate the changing of the timeline, though, but it is curious that it is an option. Because it is a necromancy spell. It would leave the same traces as Necrotic Blight. But again, why would they just not cast Necrotic Blight? I wonder if that is going to factor in some way. Near glimpses. Magic hold creature, firebolt. "24 hours. 1 hour. No one saw him while he was in this state." It is weird that we're dancing around the fact that this dude was polymorphed. I still wonder if that's going to be a thing, or if the game is just dancing around it for the sake of dancing around it. Seems like something to keep in mind, even if it's not the answer yet. Well, I probably mentioned a few things since you typed that out, but I'm keeping everything in mind. I am still curious about this, though. Something happened. Something happened. The spell Feign Death, yeah. I do find it curious. I'm just not sure what the application of it would be yet. Arya Steelwind attacked Von Sanctus with a firebolt in the common room. Map. Something happened. This is still the worst map in the entirety of human existence. Maybe this? No. Let me run that sentence by me again. Eris wanted us to believe that Celeste signed the contract at 140. She needs us to believe that to keep the narrative logically consistent. I don't know. I feel like I've presented everything that I could that relates to time. This was witnessed, so I don't think this is weird. I don't know, I may have to just throw crap against the wall here. Oh. I clicked the wrong thing. Okay, didn't think so. Whoa! It was the death of Lloyd Von Sanctus, but I presented that in another way. I presented that here, died at 2:05 p.m. And I also mentioned the fire. Oh, come on, that's not fair. It was the death of Lloyd Von Sanctus. I thought it was, but I have 5 different things I can present about Lloyd Von Sanctus's death. You wanted that one? Oh, I didn't present that, I know, but there were other things I presented that were Lloyd Sanctus's death. Like his autopsy report that talks about his death. Why did that not work? Why this? That's silly. That's silly. I say that's silly. I needed Celeste to think that she signed the contract much earlier than 2 o'clock. That's because Lloyd Von Sanctus's death occurred at 2:05, which I thought. Any testimonies about the fire could have been suspect, but this isn't a testimony. This is an autopsy report. That's not the same thing. I thought I did present the autopsy report. I'm almost certain I did. I'm gonna have to go back and watch, because I thought for sure Sanctus dying at 2:05 was one of the contradictions for sure, and the game was just like, nah. Alright, well, if I didn't present it, I didn't present it, but I feel like I did. I presented the testimony about the fire and the extra note about his death. Well, fair enough. Would this have worked? If I didn't present this, which I thought I did, would that also have worked? Because I feel like I called that. No. I didn't present this just now. I presented this just now. This I definitely did not present before. That I know for a fact. This I thought I did. I'm just wondering if both would have worked. Because I really feel like I presented this one. I could be wrong. Everything is recorded. Much like Eris, I cannot lie. But I feel like I presented it. I thought I did. That's because Lloyd Von Sanctus's death occurred at 2 p.m. In any case, I was right. So let's just see where this leads and why. Which would imply that you killed me, convinced Celeste to sign a contract, and made Celeste trick Arya into signing another contract, all in the span of 5 minutes. Well, all right. If that's true, could it be possible that Celeste isn't the patron? Well, that would be really wild. What? It's the only logical conclusion. The timeline is far too short. Even if you remember being tricked by her, we can't trust your memories. All right, run this by me. That's true. It doesn't really say that Celeste gives Arya the contract. It just says she has to engage in actions deemed necessary. Isn't that right, Eris? Isn't that right, Leon? Your desperation is almost pitiful. I should respond so that there's no room for doubt. Oh, you do that. Celeste McCoy was the person who gave Arya Steelwind that blood contract. So says the word of Asmodeus. I knew it. Is something wrong? I know the truth is hard to accept sometimes, but Celeste did betray Arya's trust. She always speaks in technicalities, so we can't take that claim at face value. But this could also be a trick. We could declare outright that Celeste is not the patron, but if we're wrong about that, we'll most definitely die. We need to be certain before we decide to declare it. Okay, let's assume that Celeste isn't the patron. Why would Celeste hand Arya a blood contract? If Celeste isn't the patron, the contract would have already been signed. If Celeste isn't the patron, that contract would have already been signed? And we already concluded that the blood contract was disguised as a normal legal document. Oh, I was right the first time. Oh, I didn't even think about that. Oster and Arya went to meet with this prick to prepare for their marriage and all that. He probably handed her the document. So I was right earlier when I was just spitballing that Theon might be the patron. You wish they had given a separate prompt for Tyrion to make that conclusion about it already being signed. It is a weird comment to make. It is a little convoluted. Like, if you're gonna set all this up, why not just set all this up? Why set it all up, but then give an out? Eris, you're an idiot. And we already concluded the blood contract was disguised as a normal legal document. We recall something happening, but it's still muddled. What was it? Arya hid, killed, dropped, tricked. Arya... No. Eris tricked Arya into signing a contract. Beatrice... I mean, this could be a few things. But I feel like Theon might have been the one to hand her the contract. Of course, that wouldn't explain how Theon managed to control Arya into doing all this, unless, of course, he was in on it. But, of course, we know how tricky this game can be about its wording, so let's see here. Why would Celeste hand Arya... Okay, let's not get ahead of ourselves here. Why would Celeste hand Arya a blood contract? Celeste dropped the contract? No, Arya dropped the contract in front of Celeste? Tyrion... Oh, that might be interesting. Oh, that might be funny. Because if Arya wandered off, did she take the contract with her from her meeting with Oster and Theon? That would be funny. Okay, well, again, low consequences, so... Oh! Yeah, this! Oh, I forgot about that! I forgot about this whole event. I kept saying it was going to come up, and then it never came up. What was the evidence that Celeste saw? We need to revisit this. As she awkwardly skitters away, we see something fall out of her pocket. It was her attorney runestone or whatever, right? Oh wait, Arya, you dropped your runestone, yeah. As she picks up the runestone, she accidentally activates it. An image of a piece of evidence appears for a brief moment, but she quickly hides it. But not before Celeste sneaks a peek at it. Oh, I see. Celeste, don't just invade her privacy like that. Don't be like that. I'm really happy for you. So, Celeste saw the illusion of the contract. Maybe. Possibly? I don't know. She definitely handed that contract to her after it was signed. But that doesn't necessarily mean she's not the patron either. Is something wrong? You look conflicted. No, from the very beginning, she's been trying to get in our head. She thrives on doubt and mistrust. But we've always known from the very beginning, Celeste would never betray Arya like that. We're gonna just say it. Celeste McCoy is not the patron described in Arya Steelwind's blood contract, so it is gonna be Theon. We suspected him for like 5 seconds earlier. It was certainly on the table, but the game has certainly done a good job of getting us off of him. So says the word of Horus. And we said it and didn't take damage, so we know it's true. Arya's blood contract has been added to our notes. Well, it's been updated. Usually it says updated when it does this. It didn't say that this time. Celeste McCoy saw Arya drop this contract before she entered the prayer room. Due to the Empress of Discord changing her memories, she can't remember what was written on the contract. Ah, even now you trust her that much? Wait, but that means you didn't betray Arya, Celeste. She only manipulated your memories after the fact. She wanted to make you think that you did. So, it's not my fault? I mean, you still stabbed Garrick Pierce. Not that I blame you, but you know, it isn't. But that has a far more unsettling implication. Someone else is the patron, but who? Well, I mean... Well, hang on. Maybe we're back to Oster, because it could still be Oster. I've kind of hinted Oster may be the hidden big bad in this entire thing, but it could also be Theon. It's not important right now. We need to focus on saving Celeste for now. I don't think they would make it Oster, though. I think the game wants us to have a big happy ending, and that's going to involve Oster and Arya getting married. Celeste wasn't the one who secured Arya's compliance and cooperation. Doesn't that make your contract flawed? Please, I thought you were an attorney. The contract states that Celeste would engage in actions deemed necessary to secure the compliance and cooperation of Arya Steelwind. No further actions were necessary. She was already under my influence by then. But that means none of this is her fault. Oh, I wouldn't go that far. Neither Arya Steelwind nor Beatrice Frega were directly responsible for the death of Garrick Pierce, so says the word of Asmodeus. I mean, correct. Right, there's still the death of Pierce. It doesn't matter who's responsible for the massacre as a whole. All that matters is the validity of my contract. You act like you're in control of this situation, but you've been nervous ever since I began disputing your contract. You're hiding something, aren't you? Who can say for sure? The second paragraph is vague, but what about the first and third paragraphs? Something is off here. Wait, is it possible that I didn't die? Oh, well, if we are going to have a feigned death, that's it. Again, why would you do that? Why would you cast feigned death and set this loophole up when you could have just cast necrotic blight? If you cast feigned death on me, you're a big dumb. Haha, are you still in denial? I thought you were ready to die to save your beloved Celeste. Answer the question, Eris. We can't trust Celeste's memories. That memory where she confirmed my death could all be a fabrication. Huh. If you're still holding on to the hope that you'll survive this, let me state it plainly for you. Celeste McCoy did in fact observe that Tyrion Cuthbert was dead. I did not alter that memory. Yeah, but that doesn't mean you didn't cast feigned death. So says the word of Asmodeus. I'm sorry, Tyrion. How did you revive me, Eris? Do you even have the power to resurrect people from the dead? Yeah, this is what I was saying, because if she doesn't, that would give her a clear reason to use feigned death. Who do you think you're talking to? Of course I do. But if you doubt me, why don't you declare that Tyrion Cuthbert never died? Knowing her, she could be baiting us into telling a lie. But it's equally likely that she's bluffing. If you still doubt that I resurrected you, I'll state this. Beings of my power are able to resurrect people from the dead. So says the word of Asmodeus. Okay, so, alright, she's stating it. If you're saying that, it must be true. Well, I don't know about that. You're clearly not acting in good faith. Why would you need to specify that beings of your power can do that? Is it possible that it's not a simple or easy feat to accomplish? I think this is my best call. Yep. Why would you need to specify that beings of your power can do that? Is it possible that it's not a simple or easy feat to accomplish? For example, would Marnoth be able to resurrect a person from the dead using a contract? Let me save you some trouble. I'll say it for you. The Empress of Discord can't resurrect people easily. So says the word of Horus. Well, that's not the same as saying that it was impossible for me to do it. But it would require a large amount of effort on your part. Perhaps, but recall my previous declaration. Celeste was there, and by all accounts, she concluded you were dead. How thoroughly did you check me? No, we don't have to big brain this. We know the spell. I have experience in first aid, and it was pretty bad. You weren't breathing and your heart was stopped. Yeah, don't mean shit. She tried to resuscitate you for several minutes, but to no avail. Right, there's no way our body could survive that long without oxygen and blood flow. Unless... Anaris just confirmed that Celeste spent several minutes trying to resuscitate us. Well, it's a good thing I noticed that feigned death spell. Let's see. But there has to be more to this than we're seeing. What could have created this scenario? Well, easy peasy lemon squeezy. You may have been able to resurrect me, but you had a far easier way to create that scenario. And luckily for you, Beatrice was there and under your control. Are you saying that Beatrice can resurrect people from the dead? No, the opposite is actually true. Beatrice Frege cast feigned death on Tyrion Cuthbert. So says the word of Horus. What? I'm sorry, Celeste, but I was never dead. She just used a spell to trick you. No! So everything I did, it was for nothing. Well, you admitted that pretty quickly, considering that sort of invalidates your contract, right? But that means you never resurrected him. He was never dead in the first place. The contract only said that he was apparently dead. Ah, that's why that wording was in there. All I did was revive him by making Beatrice release her spell, which allowed him to wake up. Well, that eliminates the first paragraph as a possible weak point. And that only leaves the death of Garrick Pierce at Celeste's hand. Okay, see, so you're smart enough to weasel word that. Something happened with Pierce, didn't it? What are you hiding? Whatever could you be talking about? Your contract says that Celeste must bring about the demise of Garrick Pierce by her own hand. Since you wrote that contract, that must have been your intent from the beginning. So why are you so nervous? Something went wrong, didn't it? If you want to stay quiet, hang on a second. I mean, if Celeste didn't kill Garrick by her own hand, doesn't that just mean bad things for her? Lastly, it is stipulated that Celeste McCoy of her own volition and agency shall bring about the demise of Garrick Pierce. Afterwards, Tyrion Cuthbert's consciousness will be restored. So... I guess it means bad things for us, not her. Maybe? Actually, no. It doesn't invalidate the first paragraph, but I guess if we can invalidate the third paragraph, we invalidate the whole thing? Maybe, possibly? I mean, it just means that she hasn't done it yet. Well, I guess she can't do it now because he's already dead. If you want to stay quiet, I'll just... All of this could be an elaborate trick to bait us into making a false statement. Oh, don't worry, I've made enough of those already. We need to be careful. We just need to find out exactly what went wrong. Is it possible that Celeste didn't kill Garrick Pierce? That would be very weird. Are you serious? Yeah, that would be... How would that have happened? He's the man who killed her adoptive father, and he was slated to be executed next month. She didn't have a rational reason not to trade his life for yours. Yeah, as bad as it sounds, that wouldn't be a hard choice for me. There isn't a single reason why I wouldn't take a deal like that. She may have wanted to, but something else might have happened. Perhaps Beatrice or Arya misinterpreted one of your commands and killed them against your wishes. Interesting. You're making this so tedious. Neither the Empress of Discord, Arya Steelwind, nor Beatrice Frege killed Garrick Pierce. So says the word of Asmodeus. Yeah, but you didn't say Celeste killed Garrick Pierce. So who else could it have been? It wasn't us. Could he have killed himself to prevent a worse fate? Because he said, I miscalculated before he fell to the ground. Before he died, could he have cast Shape Liquid to end his own life before something worse happened? He could have committed suicide. He knows the spell for Shape Liquid. So says the word of Asmodeus. Well, what if you forced Celeste to kill him? She signed that contract already, so you had control of her. The contract states that she needed to kill Pierce of her own volition and agency. Ah, very right. You honestly think I would make a foolish mistake like that? See, but this still doesn't mean that she killed him. Celeste McCoy had complete control of her actions when Pierce died. That doesn't say that she killed him. So said the word of Asmodeus. What if someone else killed Garrick Pierce on accident? Maybe a member of the Kingsguard who survived and entered the prayer room. Haha, try again, Tyrion. That still doesn't rule out what I said. Garrick Pierce's death was not an accident, it was intentional and committed with malice. I guess, does suicide count as death but with malice? I guess, is a certain interpretation. And while I'm at it, yeah, I mean, I'm still not wrong. The Empress of Discord, Celeste McCoy, Tyrion Cuthbert, Beatrice Frega, and Arya Steelwind were the only people in the prayer room with Garrick Pierce when he died. So says the word of Asmodeus. Well, it wasn't us. You said it wasn't you, Beatrice, or Arya. We're saying it's not Celeste, so there's only one person left. Tell me Garrick killed himself. No. Do you understand now? No, I feel like I got this. I can refute any possible explanation you may have for Pierce's death. But the truth is, Tyrion, you're not saying it bluntly. Garrick Pierce's death occurred because of Celeste McCoy's actions. So says the word of Asmodeus. There's still wiggle room there. He still could have killed himself because of all this. No. Have you given up? Nope. Have I finally extinguished the light of hope within you? Nope. This feels like 20 questions. I think we're beyond 20 questions at this point. I can't believe it. I can't believe you fell for that. Okay, Tyrion knows. What? You've never thrown consecutive declarations at me like that before. It's because I'm getting close, isn't it? You can freely manipulate Celeste's memories of what happened. And I don't have any evidence that implies what actually transpired in the prayer room. The only person who could tell me that was you. What? You thought you could overwhelm me by shooting down all my theories. But all you did was tell me the exact state of the room when Garrick Pierce died. And now I can figure out what actually happened. Wait! I think Garrick Pierce killed Garrick Pierce. There's no one else left. He ended his own life. Yep, I was right. Garrick Pierce's death was a suicide? What the hell? I can't imagine how much time it must have taken to write up all this. Like, I'm still gonna have to go over it and make sure everything's consistent. But, yeah, I guess Garrick would have invalidated the contract by killing himself. Eris Ilmater, Empress of Discord. No, stop this! I'm not sure what would possibly drive him to do something like that. But when he was in the prayer room, Garrick Pierce chose to take his own life. Think about it, Celeste woke him up. If he didn't kill himself, he was gonna die anyway. I don't feel like Garrick would go out like that. I don't know, I feel like he would have killed himself before the sleep spell because he would have known something was coming for him. Because of the shit that he was in. I don't think he would have murdered himself in front of Celeste. That seems kind of weird. If that's what happened, then fine. Because that would make Eris's comment about Garrick Pierce died because of Celeste's actions, because Celeste woke him up, but we'll see how that plays. But when he was in the prayer room, Garrick Pierce chose to take his own life. What? You know what that means, don't you, Eris? But for the sake of it, I'll state it in a way that makes it abundantly clear. Stop this! Stop this right now! Celeste McCoy did not bring about the death of Garrick Pierce by her own hand. Which is what this shit be saying. Celeste shall bring about the demise of Garrick Pierce by her own hand. Didn't do it. So says the word of Horus. The conditions of your contract were impossible for Celeste to fulfill. That renders it legally and logically invalid. That's checkmate, Harris. It's also checkmate for me, but we'll ignore that for now. You filthy little... Yeah, quit messing with my monitor. Get out of here, Monica.